Hi, welcome to the magic video. My job is to teach you a few tricks that you can do while you're stuck at home because of the COVID-19 outbreak. You'll be able to fool your friends and your family as long as you're still practicing social distancing. The first thing we're going to do is a coin trick. So for this, you're going to need a coin. Just a simple coin. Your size hands, if you're a junior magician, probably the right size for you would be a quarter. I use larger coins with my hands because I have grown-up hands. But if your hands are small, you can use a nickel. But if your hands are normal size for your age, you want to use a quarter. Now I'm going to show you a couple quick vanishes. My favorite one is this one right here because you squeeze it and the coin just disappears. Now I know you're wondering, how did they do that? Well, number one, I can't start telling you the secret until I tell you a couple rules. Rule number one is you're not allowed to tell the secret to the magic tricks. I know you're thinking, why are you telling me now? Because you're taking interest in this video, you want to learn magic, and you clicked on this link so that you can learn the magic tricks. That's why I'm letting you in on the secret. Another great place to learn magic secrets is the library. You can actually get books online now, or you can go to your library or your regular bookstore and get some books on magic tricks that you can do yourself. Things that you can do with around the home, or things that you can order online if you really want to get really interested in magic tricks. So you ready to learn the secret? Here it is. I'm holding the coin at my fingertips with my thumb. And what happens was I go to pick up this coin, I didn't pick it up. I put my hand over it like I was picking it up. I let the coin slide down into my fingers just like that. So now the coin is here. I'm pretending to hold the coin here. So this is what it would look like if you're normally doing the trick. You pick up the coin and you look at the hand that's supposed to have the coin. That's called misdirection. So you continue looking at the hand, you rub your fingers together, count to 5 in your head, and then show your hand completely empty. Now, the problem we have is the coin is actually stuck in these fingers down here. So you don't want to rush right away and show them the coin is still in your hand. So what I do is I pretend I'm reaching into my pockets, I get a new coin. It's actually the same coin, but they think you just took it out of your pocket. Now, I'm going to show you a second vanish. This one is kind of fun. I call this a top of the fist vanish. This works with quarters. It also works with little Legos blocks. And it will work with rubber balls if you have like a Nerf size ball at home. So watch close. This is a 3-step process. You look at the coin, you put it back. You look at your audience, look at the coin, put it back. On the third time, you pick up the coin and you squeeze it, and it just disappears like nothing. Are you ready for the secret for this one? Yeah, before that, what we're going to do is tell you another rule. You should never do the same trick twice for the same audience on the same day. The first time they see the trick, they know there's a surprise coming, but they don't know what it is. Magic is all about the surprise. So, the second time you show them the trick, they're not worried about the surprise. They're trying to catch you to see how you actually did the trick. So be sure, never do the same trick twice for the same audience on the same day. So I'll show you this one. This one's kind of fun. You're going to hold the coin here at the top of your hands, but you're going to hold it loose so when you want to, you can push that coin right down in your fingers. So this is how I do it. I hold it here, and I tell them to watch close. I pick up the coin for real the first time, and I look at that coin, and I look at my audience, I put it back. Every time you look at your audience, they're going to look at you, and that's going to give you misdirection in a moment that you can get rid of the coin. The second time, I really do pick it up, but I pick it up a little deeper so that you can only see a little tiny edge of that coin. Then on the third time, that's when I pushed down and pretended to pick up the coin. So from the side, it looks like this. I push it down, pretend to pick up the coin. Now you want to look at this hand, and as you're looking at this hand, take your other hand and just drop it off the table into your lap. So you look at that hand, you count to 5 again in your head, and then you show them that the coin has disappeared. So that's 2 ways you can vanish a coin. You want to learn another? I've got another one for you. This is called the finger palm vanish. See, this is the palm of your hand. This is your thumb. These are your fingers. Everybody knows that. But magicians use 2 things that other people don't think about. They have this area here where the palm touches the fingers. That's called finger palm. And they have this area here where your thumb touches your palm, and that's thumb palm. So if you were to finger palm a coin, it would look something like this. A lot of people do it with 2 fingers, and it looks like you're doing like a Spider-Man kind of thing. That's okay, but you don't want to keep your fingers bent over that far. So you barely put it here on one finger and you close that one finger down. Then you curl your other fingers down so that it matches. Now if I hold my hands this way, you can't see a coin, but I'm definitely holding a coin. Now to make the coin vanish using this, first you show the coin in finger palm position and you pretend to put it in the other hand. You squeeze it and it looks like it just disappears. The coin has never left this hand, but they think it has. That's the important part of this trick. You want them to think that it really transferred from one hand to the other. So watch close. Step one, you place a coin in finger palm. As you start to turn your hand over, your finger automatically grabs that coin. It's human nature. Your fingers curl up every time you turn your hands and relax a little bit. Your knuckles and your fingers will all relax and they'll curl up. So you show this, show the other hand empty. As you're looking at this hand, that's when you pretend to dump the coin in. So you're going to dump this coin, just pretend you're holding it in finger palm. This empty hand is going to close up around the fingers and it's going to pull straight off and you're going to make it disappear. Okay? But it's never left finger palm. That one takes a lot more practice. Work on the first two vanishes and then work on this one. Are you ready to learn something besides a coin vanish? I've got the perfect one for you. See, what I have is a napkin. It's my favorite napkin because I get these at Wendy's. The cool thing about these napkins is they're magical. If you take this napkin and you tear it into two pieces, right, and then you put it together and tear it into two more, that makes 4 pieces. Then one more tear makes 8 pieces because you're doubling it each time. If you tear it here in the middle, that makes 16. Now I'm going to ball these little tiny pieces up. And here's the fun part. I'm just going to wiggle my fingers and say abracadabra. And that napkin is going to slowly put itself back together again. So now you have a napkin that's been completely torn up and put back together again. Now I know you're wondering, how did I do it? Well, first off, I have to tell you, I had to cheat a little bit. Now, the way you do this is you take one napkin, and you're going to ball it up into a little teeny tiny ball, and I do it with one hand. That makes it come up so it's less likely to rip when you pull it apart, open it later. So you do that and get that balled up, and you're going to hide this in that finger palm position like I taught you with the coin trick. See, everything works together in magic. The best napkins used for this are the free ones you get at the fast food restaurants. McDonald's and Wendy's have napkins that are excellent for this. So the next time you go to the restaurant, get a couple extra napkins so you can do this trick. Do not use up mom and dad's good napkins at home to practice this trick. They will get mad at you, and then you'll get mad at me because I taught you something that might get you in trouble. So here's the deal. I've got one napkin hidden in my left hand, and I'm keeping that hidden, and I'm using just the 3 fingers and not all 4 because I need these fingers to pinch. So you take the napkin, you pick it up, and you tear it right down the middle. Right? And then you put those 2 pieces together and you tear it again. Remember, you're still hiding a napkin they don't know about. And you tear this again, and each time you can tear this, you can show your hands. Because this napkin is hiding the napkin in your hand, and your other hand looks exactly the same. That's called mirroring. And that's what you want to make it look like. You want to make it look like each hand is doing exactly the same thing. So when I get to this part, and they're torn pretty good, I then go and I tear them in the middle and tear them down the middle. Now you start balling these up together in one giant ball, and then you put it in your left hand right on top of the other ball. This is what it looks like. This is the napkin that's ready to work. This is the napkin you just tore up. So I smash them together, and then I turn it over, so now the torn one is in finger palm and the whole one is in the position to be restored and put back together again. But it looks exactly the same as the other napkin. Here's a very important point. Use the same color napkins. Don't use different napkins from different restaurants to do this trick because they're not always the same color. So now you're ready to pull this open. You want to do this really slow, little bit at a time. And you'll notice I'm still keeping those pieces that are torn up hidden in my hand. Right? And the way you get rid of the evidence is you put this napkin over the pieces in your hand and just ball everything up, and you throw it in the trash, and everything is perfect. Now, one last trick. This is my favorite trick. It uses a salt shaker, it uses a coin, and it uses a napkin, because I'm going to show you a trap door in the table. I'm going to show you how that coin is going to disappear from under the napkin. It's my favorite trick. Under the salt shaker too. So we take that, and we're going to roll this around the salt shaker, just like so, covering up the bottom of the salt shaker, because that's going to help hide the coin. So you twist it tight at the top. Now I want you to watch. I'm going to make that coin melt through the table. Watch it closely. Oh wait, that has to be heads up. Sorry. Alright, you ready? Watch. Here's the fun part. Watch. I made the salt shaker disappear. The coin didn't make it this time. Are you ready for this secret? This is my favorite trick to do around the dinner table. What you need is a table, a coin, a salt shaker, a napkin, and you need to be seated at the table. What I'm doing is I'm setting at the table, I'm doing something called lapping. And what happens when you lap an item and you drop it in, you want your legs together so the item stops. If your legs are apart, it's going to fall through to the floor and make noise, and you don't want that. So when I tell them I'm going to make the coin go through the table, that's misdirection. And you have to get the napkin ready. I use the bottom edge that's been folded, and I roll up the salt shaker with that part showing all the way down to the bottom, and I make sure there's a little bit of space here so it's not completely at the bottom. And then you take the top and you twist that tight. That's going to lock everything together. It makes a tube that slides off of. Now you're going to use some misdirection again. You tell them you're going to make the coin go through the table, and you pull the salt shaker back to your lap, right between you and the table. And then you get ready and you say, watch, it's going to go through, it's going to be really fun. And this time I drop the salt shaker into my lap, keeping my legs together. And then I bring this up and I set this on the table right over it. Now remember, it looks like there's a salt shaker still in there because it's got the same shape as a salt shaker. That's why I wrap the napkin and wrap it at the top. And then I go, you ready? We're going to make the coin disappear. And I go, 1, 2, 3, wiggle the fingers, smash. And you look up and look surprised, like that wasn't supposed to happen. So you lift this up and show that the salt shaker is actually gone. You reach beneath the table and you go, I'm sorry, I can't do the coin through the table trick. And that's it for the magic. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you learn these, and I hope you practice these. And you do not let your friends know how you're doing the tricks. So remember, rule number 1, never tell the secret. Rule number 2, never do the same trick for the same audience on the same day. Catch you next time.